You see this flag everywhere. On the news, at demonstrations, in art, and probably scrolling through your social media feed. It's become one of the most recognizable symbols in the world today. The three stripes of black, white, and green with a red triangle on the side. Four simple colors that carry the weight of a people's history, their identity, and their dreams for the future. But behind these colors is a story that goes back over a century, a story of empires, revolution, poetry, and a deep longing for a place to call home. This isn't just a piece of cloth. It's a declaration. What if I told you that to really get this flag, you need to understand the rise and fall of ancient caliphates? A famous poem written over 700 years ago, and a watermelon. It sounds strange, I know, but each of those pieces is a vital part of the puzzle. We're going to break down the true meaning of the black, white, green, and red, and trace the powerful story of the Palestinian flag. To understand the Palestinian flag, we have to rewind the clock, not to Palestine itself, but to a moment that reshaped the entire Middle East. The year is 1916, World War I is raging, and the Ottoman Empire, which had ruled much of the Arab world for 400 years, was starting to crumble. In the middle of all this chaos, a new movement was born, the Great Arab Revolt. Led by Sharif Hussein of Mecca, Arab leaders wanted to throw off Ottoman rule and create an independent, unified Arab state. They needed a symbol to rally behind, a banner that would represent their shared dream of freedom. The flag they created is the direct ancestor of the one we see today. It had three horizontal stripes, black, green, and white, with a red triangle on the side. These weren't just random colors. They were the pan-Arab colors, chosen to represent the golden ages of Arab and Islamic history. This flag was a symbol of Arab unity, the dream of a single nation stretching across the Middle East. That dream of one big Arab state eventually gave way to the messy politics of the 20th century, as colonial powers drew new borders across the region. But the flag and its colors lived on. Palestinian nationalists used it as early as the 1920s and during the Arab Revolt in Palestine in the late 1930s. Then, a couple of key moments happened. In 1948, the All-Palestine government, formed in Gaza, adopted this flag. Later, in 1964, the newly founded Palestine Liberation Organization, or PLO, also officially adopted it as the symbol of the Palestinian people, setting the stripe order to the black, white, and green we see today. When the PLO declared the State of Palestine on November 15, 1988, this flag became its official banner. It had transformed from a symbol of a widespread Arab rebellion into the specific and powerful emblem of the Palestinian national struggle. So that's where the design comes from. But what about the colors themselves? Each one is like a thread, connecting the flag to a huge tapestry of Arab history and the powerful dynasties that once ruled the region. Let's break them down. First up, the black stripe. Black is one of the most powerful colors in Arab and Islamic history. It was the color of the banner used by the Prophet Muhammad's forces, and it represented the Rashidun Caliphate. Most famously, it was the color of the Abbasid Caliphate, which ruled from Baghdad from the 8th to the 13th centuries. This was the Islamic Golden Age, a time of incredible scientific, cultural, and intellectual breakthroughs. So the black stripe connects to this powerful past, but it also holds a more somber meaning, representing the darkness of battles fought throughout history. Next is the white stripe in the middle. White was the color of the Umayyad Caliphate, which ruled from Damascus in the 7th and 8th centuries. The Umayyads oversaw a massive expansion of Arab territory, and their era is remembered for its administrative and architectural feats. Symbolically, white stands for peace, purity, and the righteousness of their cause. The green stripe at the bottom has deep and layered significance. It's often linked to the Fatimid Caliphate, a dynasty that ruled from Egypt in the 10th to 12th centuries, known for its cultural and economic prosperity. More broadly, green is the color most universally associated with Islam itself. is said to have been the Prophet Muhammad's favorite color, and is mentioned in the Quran as the color of the clothing in paradise. It symbolizes fertility, growth, and the rich, green lands of home. Finally, we have the red triangle. This element is separate from the stripes and carries its own weight. Red is the color of the Hashemite dynasty, the family of Sharif Hussein who led the Arab revolt. It represents their key role in the fight for Arab independence, but the meaning goes deeper. Red universally symbolizes sacrifice, courage, and the blood shed in the long, hard struggle for freedom. The triangle itself, pointing forward, is often seen as a symbol of hope and the determination to push toward an independent future. Now, this connection between the colors and history isn't something people just made up recently. It's actually rooted in poetry that's over 700 years old. The choice of these four colors is widely believed to have been inspired by a verse from a poet named Safi al-Din al-Hili, who lived between the 13th and 14th centuries. In one of his poems, he wrote a line that perfectly captures the spirit of these colors. White are our deeds, black are our battles, green are our fields, and red are our swords. This single line is like a key to the flag's symbolism. White for noble actions, black for the fierceness of their struggles, green for the land they cherish, and red for the swords of justice and sacrifice. When Arab nationalists were looking for a symbol, they found it not just in the banners of old empires, but in the power of their own literature. This verse is really the soul of the flag, weaving together honor, struggle, land, and sacrifice into one emblem. And now for the most unexpected part of the story, the watermelon. How on earth did a fruit become so tied to the Palestinian flag? Well, this is a story of cleverness, resilience, and symbolic protest. After the Six-Day War in 1967, the Israeli government banned the public display of the Palestinian flag and its colors in the occupied West Bank and Gaza Strip. Simply gathering the four colors, black, white, green, and red, could be treated as a criminal act. Artists couldn't paint with them, and people couldn't wave the flag without risking arrest. This is where the watermelon comes in. When you cut a watermelon open, it naturally has all four colors of the Palestinian flag: the red fruit, the black seeds, the white rind, and the green outer skin. In a brilliant act of peaceful defiance, Palestinians started using slices of watermelon as a substitute for their banned flag. Holding up a slice of watermelon became a subtle but unmistakable statement of identity and protest. It was a symbol that couldn't be outlawed. How do you ban a fruit? The story of the watermelon perfectly shows how a symbol can adapt and survive, even when it's suppressed. It became a powerful, globally recognized icon of Palestinian resilience. When the official flag was banned, the people found its echo in nature. Today, especially on social media where content can be censored, the watermelon emoji is often used to show solidarity with the Palestinian cause, a digital version of a decades-old act of defiance. The strict ban on the flag was eased after the signing of the Oslo Accords in 1993, which paved the way for it to be flown more widely. A major symbolic moment came in 2015, when the flag was raised for the first time at the United Nations headquarters in New York, a significant nod of recognition on the world stage. Today, the Palestinian flag is so much more than a collection of historical symbols. It's a living, breathing emblem of a national identity. For Palestinians in the West Bank, Gaza, and scattered across the global diaspora, it's a powerful unifier. It's their connection to their homeland, their shared history of struggle, and their persistent hope for self-determination and freedom. You'll see it at weddings and funerals, at huge protests in cities around the world, painted on murals from Belfast to Bethlehem, and held by athletes, artists, and activists. It represents resilience in the face of hardship and a claim to a future that hasn't been fully realized yet. It's a daily assertion of existence, a visual declaration that simply says, "We are here." So, the next time you see the black, white, green, and red of the Palestinian flag, you'll see more than just a flag. You'll see the echoes of the Abbasid, Umayyad, and Fatimid caliphates. You'll hear the verse of a 13th century poet celebrating his people's honor. You'll see the banner of the Arab Revolt, a cry for independence against an empire. And you'll see the creative defiance of a watermelon slice, a symbol of an unbreakable spirit. You'll see a journey from a broad pan-Arab dream to a specific potent emblem of Palestinian nationhood. It's a flag that tells a story of a proud past, a difficult present, and enduring hope for a future of peace and freedom. It's a symbol of identity, woven together with the threads of history, poetry, and resilience.